Hi, it's Phil Chambers with another in my session of health and safety talks done during this lockdown period. Hope you're all keeping well. This is just a talk over some photographs relating to fire safety. They're all bad practices, but they're all taken by me within the UK, so they're not something which has just come off the internet or anything like that. Now, all of these photographs and a whole lot of other photographs are available from the publications page of strategicsafety.co.uk, so you just go onto that page and you'll find them. They are free for download, and I'm going to charge you anything for them. The only restrictions I put on them are those there. That the copyright remains with my company, Strategic Safety Systems Limited. You can use them for whatever means you want, but you can't sell them on. And the copyright symbol and the name Strategic Safety Systems must remain on the photographs. As I said, they are photographs that I have taken within industrial operations within the UK. That's true of all of the photographs you'll get off the publications page, with the exception of two of painters working at height in when I was on holiday in France a few years ago. But the rest of them are all UK operations. They're not third world countries. They are what's on your doorstep. Okay, let's go through them. The structure is that I start with those which are show poor storage and use practices. Then we look at the exit routes, both starting with the internal ones and then going on to the ones outside. So let's get into these. Here's the first one. Drums of, I believe, isopropanol, 200 litre drum, just stored on a pallet. Lots of combustible stuff around there. I should stress that a lot of these photographs are from the printing industry, and I've done a lot of work in printing. And the nightmare scenario in printing is that you get bulk paper to burn. Bulk paper is difficult to ignite, but once it's burning, it's difficult to put out, and you get a lot of smoke damage and a lot of water damage because in trying to do that. But the way of getting it to ignite is to either set fire to finely divided trimmings, or to set fire to flammables, and then they'll trigger off the bulk paper. So you want to keep flammables under control and keep them away from combustibles. This is an example of exactly where we're not doing that. Here's another good example. You'll note these cans here. They're obviously flammables there because they've got that little symbol on them there. I believe that cap is off, but that one is certainly off there because it's got a little pump thing in it. But they're sitting on combustibles. You know, you're trying to keep flammables and combustibles away from each other, and there they are sitting on each other. Not really good, is it? Here's another one. That was in the same company as well. You know, obviously drums of flammable liquid. There's the flammable symbol with a whole load of very badly controlled junk around it. This one's a classic. This is an absolute classic. This is taken in a company in Swansea, and these are trimmings that have come off the guillotine there. Their extraction system had failed, and so they were piling them up there. Obviously, if they got set fire there, then it'd be well on its way. This was taken in summer, which is just as well, because if you notice here, they've got a space heater and gas bottles. So they would be using a space heater in this area. Space heater, flames, etc. next to all these trimmings. That's really appalling practice. Really is appalling. This is not necessarily bad, but would you really trust those electrics? You look at them and you think, I don't know, I don't have confidence. There's no evidence to say that it is bad, that there is a problem there, but you'd want to have it properly checked out by during an electrical check, preferably using a thermal imaging camera as well for that. and here's another picture in the same place. You know, you've got cables draped over water pipes and stuff like that. That's not good at all. This is another one, a company in Wellington in Somerset at the time. You'll notice here that they've got drums of flammable liquid here, but they're stored right next to the battery charger for their electric forklift truck. There's a perfectly serviceable flammable storage unit just round the corner from this area. We're not talking about hundreds of yards away, we're only talking about a few metres just round the corner where all of these things should be stored. You mustn't store flammable liquids right next to a source of sparks, source of ignition here, which is what you've got with a forklift truck charger. This is another one, company in Holloway in London. Flammables and other liquids stored in an unbunded area in what used to be a toilet. So any spillage there is going to run out under the toilet door on the way into the factory. Beautiful that, isn't it? This is another one. This is in Cheltenham. This company doesn't exist anymore. In fact, this whole building has recently been demolished, and it's going to be used for another business site. But here we've got drums of IPA, isopropanol. There's about 11 drums. So that's, you've got about, what is it, 20,000 litres of highly flammable liquid stored under in this building here, in an area where vehicles can go out. So if a vehicle hits that, you know, that's bad news. That's the public road there, by the way. One that I use quite frequently. Here's another one. I don't know if it's absolutely flammable, but certainly it's being kept in an unsafe way with the lid off, poked next to some plastic wrapping as well. Really, really good. Here's another one, classic one, company in Swindon. This is their hazardous goods store. Nothing's bundled, of course. It's all of this stuff is on pallets, etc. Drums of alcohol, I think, just on pallets. Doesn't show up well on this particular view on the screen, but if you do look at the photograph, you'll find that these containers are sagging. They're dissolving away, and they're going to split before long, and go all over somebody's bike, which they've kept in there. Great, isn't it? Here's another example of again, flammable liquid. That's got a flammable symbol on it. Isopropanol again, not bundled, and this is obviously an area where some dispensing is being carried out. It's pumped into some smaller containers there, and we've got spillages there. Oh, and spillages right next to combustible materials. So that's again something which is appalling, but not as appalling as this. This is good because these drums of flammable liquid are on a bunded tray. Both of them are on a bunded tray. That's good. That's excellent. What is deplorable, though, is that they are stored under this staircase, which is the exit route from the mezzanine floor upstairs. At the time I took this photograph, it was the only exit route from the mezzanine floor upstairs. So we've got not a very good situation there. They have improved it since I took this photograph, but we've got not a very good situation there with only having one exit route, and an appalling situation that we've got flammables which are stored under it. They've since moved this, of course, on my insistence. Here's a good one. If you actually look at that symbol, if you took away this stuff here, you'd actually say it says "keep clear" along there. That's obviously a fire exit route. We're going into the exit route things now, but this is an exit route, a route to a fire exit there. And this was taken during some work when new equipment was being installed, and the electricians had plonked this drum of cable there right on the exit route. you could possibly just squeezed by it there, but that's appalling. But on the next day or a couple of days later, they'd plonked this transformer or whatever it is just there, obviously something which is very heavy, plonked right down on the same thing, and it's going to be difficult to get by there to get to the exit route. Same place, it's the exactly the same place there. This is one with a company in Gloucester. Fire doors must be kept shut at all times, and these were wedged open. Now, they didn't really need fire doors. There, it wasn't necessary, but you either designate these as fire doors like that, and then keep them shut, or you take away the fire door designation and allow them to be opened. You can't have this practice here where a fire door is being wedged open. As it is here, fire door sign just on there, being kept open by a fire extinguisher. Really, really good. This isn't necessarily bad, but it's something you've got to be concerned about. This is a company in over near Abingdon. This is a fire door. We've got security concerns on this site. It's an industrial estate in the middle of nowhere, and so extra bolts are put on there. That's not a problem. And these were unbolted at the time, but you've got to make sure that with a fire exit like this, then if you have bolts which are there for security when the building is not occupied, then you've got to have a system that unbolts these, just slides the bolts across at the start of the shift, and then re-bolts them at the end of the shift. You can't expect people to start fumbling around for bolts in an emergency situation. This looks bad, and it is bad, because it's saying that because it's got a fire exit here, and we've got this pallet right in front of the fire exit. Now, I happen to know there's a perfectly serviceable fire exit just here, and this isn't a problem. By the way, if you actually went on the other side of that door, there was a whole load of stuff there, so even if this pallet wasn't in the way, you couldn't actually get through that door. Perfectly serviceable fire exit, not blocked at all, just down to the left of this. So what we do there is we take this damn sign down, take the fire exit sign down. It's no longer a fire exit. However, you do want to be able to get to the fire extinguishers there. So this practice of putting pallets in front of the fire extinguishers is poor. But it's not as bad as it looks, providing you take this damn sign down. However, this one is bad. This is a real fire exit. There aren't any others nearby, and we've got a pallet stuck right in front of the fire extinguishers, and right in front of the fire exit, and also in front of the fire extinguishers there. Very bad. This was a company up in Bolton, and this was an exit, and it was a shared building. Unfortunately, so this was going through into somebody else's area within the building. You'll notice a number of problems here. The first thing is, this is designated as a fire exit here, but we've got this handle as an exit to open the door, which is very poor. It's locked. Little key there, and where's the key? Can I see the key or whatever? So that is bad in itself. Also, it requires the door to be opened towards you to get out, which is not good. All of those are kind of insignificant, because what happens next is if you go through onto the other side, and I've walked round to the other side of that door, you'll find there's a roller shutter door there, and that's locked shut. So even if you were able to open this fire exit door, you'd find this thing on the other side. An appalling situation. This is another one here. Yes, you could get to the fire exit through this kind of, if push came to shove, but don't store boxes just there right in front of the fire exit. The same with this one. Not too bad. You could get around here to the fire exit. This company makes vacuum mouldings, and these take up a lot of space. This isn't too bad, but they do run out of space. But you mustn't plonk pallets in front of the fire exit like that. But in the same building, on another day, this is another exit route through there. Fire exit, keep clear. They're obviously not reading that, because you can't get out through that fire exit route at all. That's appalling. This is another company, same kind of situation, exit route through a storage area, which is not brilliant, but it's not a problem. Fire exit out through there. But they put the panel, this skip just here. That shouldn't, this cage, it shouldn't be there. You could get through it, yeah, but it's not good. You should keep those things right away clear of those doors. Same to be said for this. Lots of bubble wrap, by the look of it, bubble wrap right in front of this exit route out here. Not good at all. As is this, loads of stuff here. Keep clear, it says under there, honest it does, but it's been plonked down on there. You mustn't put stuff on an exit route like that. It could quite easily have been put there, you know, that's not an issue, but why they put it there, I don't know. This is a situation where this is now an internal door. So this used to be an external door there. So this is now that they've extended the building out to this side, and they used to have a fire exit route through there. It's still a fire exit route. So behind all of that cardboard and stuff like that, you'll find an exit door. Now this door is kept open, so it's not so bad. But you know, it still says fire exit down there, but we've got all of this stuff inside. This stuff here is Rockwool insulation, because they were, as I say, doing a lot of building work and they were extending the building. So you find this other situation where on the other side of that area, they've got all of this stuff piled up in front of this exit route, fire exit route out there. You've got to watch what happens during non-standard operations when they come to blocking off exit routes. Now we get on to the external ones, external routes. This was a company in London, took several years ago. I didn't open this door. I would do, you know, when I do inspections, I go around and I open all the doors and make sure that all the exit routes are, that the doors actually open and the exit routes are clear outside. But this door was propped open in summer for some ventilation, and behind here, a gap of about, you know, not much more than a metre, 1.5 metres maybe, between the factory and the boundary wall there. It was thick with bracken all the way along, and we're talking about 20 metres or so before you actually got past the bracken, so up to waist level. Didn't need much to clear it, just get somebody to go along with a strimmer, cut it down, do that a couple of times a year, that's all. But it was not something which, you know, I discovered and it wasn't obvious to other people. It was obvious to everybody because that door was propped open. Something else in the way, this is a fire exit route from around the back of the building. Coming along here, it's blocked with all this stuff that's put down there and some other things down here blocking the fire exit route. This is a company in, I think it's in Gloucester, but this is the exit route from round the back. So you get out to your building, which is on fire, and then you find that you're having difficulty in getting past all this vegetation on the outside. You've got to keep it clear. Another picture of the same site. I think it's difficult to get through this stuff. You've got to keep it clear. Now, as I said, all of these pictures are available for free use. Just go to the www.strategicsafety.co.uk website and click on the publications and photos pictures here, and this page or link and these photos will come up here. As I say, there's all of these pictures here, free for your own use, and then there's lots of other information. So we've got some tools here, some videos. This one will go up on the videos, by the way, before long. And then there's a whole load of white papers which are really interesting stuff. I love your feedback on this. You can contact me on phil@strategicsafety.co.uk, or you can contact me on the mobile, which is 07680 11667. I hope you found this interesting. You keep safe. Right, bye.